So X, I am here to tell you a story that's sort of a local legend among my town. I lived in a small township in northern Michigan called Fife Lake, which is about an hour or so from Traverse City. It's a sleepy little place, no more than 500 people in the whole town, and we essentially all knew all of the people who came to the lakefront. We had lots of tourists during the 4th of July season, but after that, the whole place died down to a quiet, barely alive little hamlet. The people of Fife Lake are lovely, friendly, personable, very welcoming, except during the autumn. There is a sort of legend that says, during the autumn, any outsider who decides to stay will bring disaster with them, so we try to keep anyone from agreeing to move there during the September to November months. This legend stems from an old Native American legend of the Mbez-Suksi, which means lake deer. The early white settlers misunderstood the natives' attempts at English and translated it as lank deer, and so it is known today. They say that the first white man to see the lank deer was a foreigner even to his own people. He showed up at the settlement alone and asked for food. It was harvest season, and the settlers welcomed the new guest. He ate heartily and slept outside by the fire. Come nightfall, he awoke suddenly and shook awake some of the settlers. He stared into the darkness at the edge of the firelight, and they say that after a few moments, he began to convulse, making a horrible noise akin to a wounded deer crying out in agony. He threw himself into the fire, ignited, and died. As his cries subsided, a single deer emerged from the shadows by the lake, thin and ill. It stepped up to the fire and looked at the settlers. In Potawatomi, it said,
"You too are not welcome here, and like this man, you too will burn in the fires of your own making."
The settlers, not knowing the local language, took their muskets and attempted to shoot the lank deer. However, they failed to land even a single bullet. No one ever heard from the settlers there again. But it's said that if you look in the woods of northern Michigan, you can find a patch of land where no life will grow, and that this patch always looks burnt and desiccated. Throughout the years, as more white settlers took up residence in the area, they passed down the story of the lank deer, a harbinger of destruction who curses those who give the bounty of the earth to the outsiders who did not work for it. At different times, people would report seeing a ghoulishly thin deer wandering the woods, sometimes paralleling them, sometimes staring into their windows, always with an intelligent gleam in its eye. They say that they are the eyes of a man, not a deer. In modern times, you'll find no mention or written record of this legend. The locals keep it to themselves, and won't even talk about it with people who aren't at least second-generation members of the community. But if you're out alone in the woods at night, you can still see the lank deer. If you're a visitor during the autumn, don't eat berries from the bushes. Don't eat fish you catch. Don't take food from farmers' markets. Make sure everything you consume is made elsewhere, because if you don't, you may find the lank deer staring in your window while you sleep, a hungry look of vengeance in its eyes. The lank deer protects the land, and you are not of the land.